A man can say "I love you" 100 times and still have no intention of marrying you. The truth is revealed in what he does when commitment becomes real. So if you are wondering whether he truly sees you as his future wife, these 7 signs may tell you more than his words ever could. 1. He speaks about marriage with clarity, not confusion. If a man truly wants to marry you, one of the first things you will notice is that his intentions do not remain hidden behind endless confusion. He does not keep you emotionally attached while avoiding every serious conversation about the future. A man who is sincere about marriage understands that your heart deserves clarity. He may not have every detail perfectly planned, but he will be willing to speak honestly about where the relationship is going, what marriage means to him, and what steps may be needed to make it halal and serious. He will not constantly change the subject whenever commitment is mentioned, or give you beautiful words without direction. Real intention slowly becomes visible through serious conversations about family, responsibility, timing, values, and the kind of life you could build together. In Islam, marriage is not a game of uncertainty. A sincere man will try to protect your dignity by making his purpose clearer, because when someone genuinely sees you as a potential wife, he does not want to keep you wondering forever whether you truly have a place in his future. 2. His actions match the words he gives you. If a man truly wants to marry you, his actions will begin confirming what his words have been promising. Anyone can say, "I love you," "I want a future with you," or "one day I will marry you." But sincere intention is revealed through consistency. Pay attention to whether he keeps his promises, respects your time, remains present when things become difficult, and treats you with the same care even when he is upset. A serious man does not disappear for days and return with romantic words, expecting everything to be forgotten. He does not give you attention only when he feels lonely or fears losing you. Instead, he makes steady effort because he understands that marriage requires reliability, patience, responsibility, and trust. His behavior should make you feel that his words have weight behind them. In Islam, good character is far more valuable than beautiful promises. If he speaks about marriage, but repeatedly behaves in ways that leave you confused, hurt, or uncertain, do not ignore that pattern. A man who genuinely wants you as his wife will gradually prove his intention through what he consistently does. Because real commitment is not something you only hear, it is something you begin to see. 3. He respects your deen and your boundaries. If a man truly wants to marry you, he will not ask you to destroy your relationship with Allah just to prove your feelings for him. One of the clearest signs of sincere intention is the way he respects your deen, your dignity, and the boundaries you have chosen to protect. He will not constantly pressure you into private conversations, inappropriate behavior, secrecy, or anything that leaves your heart filled with guilt afterward. Instead, he understands that if he genuinely hopes to build a future with you, that future should begin with respect rather than disobedience. A man who sees you as his future wife will care about your character, your modesty, your prayers, and the values that make you who you are. He will never make you feel that you must compromise your faith to keep his attention. In fact, when his intentions become serious, he will want things to move in a cleaner and more honorable direction. Remember, someone who truly values you will not constantly test how many boundaries you are willing to break for him. He will respect the boundaries because he understands that real love should protect your dignity, not slowly take it away. 4. He wants to know who you really are. If a man truly wants to marry you, his interest will go far beyond your appearance, your voice, or the excitement of talking to you. He will genuinely want to understand the woman behind what everyone else can see. He will become curious about your values, your character, your relationship with Allah, the way you treat your family, how you respond when life becomes difficult, and what kind of future you hope to build. His questions become deeper because he is no longer thinking only about how you make him feel today. He is considering whether the two of you could build a peaceful and responsible life together tomorrow. He wants to understand your expectations about marriage, family, faith, children, responsibilities, and the things that matter most to your heart. A man who only wants temporary attention may enjoy your presence without caring deeply about your principles. But a man considering you as his wife wants to know whether your values can walk beside his for years. Marriage requires more than attraction. It requires character, compatibility, patience, and shared direction. When he sincerely tries to understand who you truly are, instead of loving only the version of you that is easy and attractive, that is a powerful sign that his thoughts may be moving beyond romance toward a serious future. 5. He does not hide you from his real life. If a man truly wants to marry you, he will not be comfortable keeping you hidden forever while repeatedly promising that one day everything will become serious. When his intentions are genuine, there comes a point where he wants the relationship to move out of secrecy and towards something honorable, responsible, and clear. He understands that marriage is not built only through private conversations and emotional promises. It eventually requires real steps, family involvement, accountability, and courage. A serious man may need time to prepare himself, but he will not use time as an endless excuse to avoid progress. He will begin speaking about how families can become involved, what obstacles need to be solved, and what must happen before nikah becomes possible. He does not want you to remain a hidden chapter of his life while everyone else knows nothing about his intentions. In Islam, sincere marriage intentions should move toward dignity and halal commitment. So pay attention to whether he is gradually bringing his words into reality. A man who truly sees you as his future wife will eventually want his intentions to become known through meaningful action, because he is not trying to secretly keep you, he is preparing to openly choose you. 6. He thinks about your peace, not only his own desires. If a man truly wants to marry you, he will not only think about what he wants from you, he will also think seriously about what his presence is doing to your heart. This is one of the strongest differences between temporary attraction and sincere intention. A man who only wants attention may care about whether you reply quickly, whether you miss him, whether you make time for him, and whether you give him the affection he desires. But a man who is genuinely thinking about marriage begins asking a deeper question. Am I bringing peace into her life, or am I becoming a source of constant confusion? He understands that marriage is not about possessing someone emotionally. It is about learning how to protect trust, dignity, emotional safety, and the tranquility that should exist between two people who hope to build a life together. This does not mean he will never make a mistake or that every conversation will be perfect. Marriage-minded people are still human, and misunderstandings can happen. What matters is how he responds when something goes wrong. If he hurts you, does he dismiss your feelings, blame you for being sensitive, disappear until you stop asking questions, or make you feel guilty for wanting basic respect? Or does he listen, acknowledge what happened, and make an effort to handle the situation more wisely next time? A serious man does not treat every disagreement as a battle he must win. He understands that sometimes protecting the relationship is more important than protecting his pride. He does not need to humiliate you, threaten to leave, compare you to other women, or make you jealous just to prove that he has power over your emotions. Pay attention to the way you consistently feel around him. Do you feel respected? Or are you always worried that one wrong word will make him disappear? Do you feel valued? Or are you constantly competing for his attention? Do you feel that you can speak honestly? Or have you learned to stay silent because every serious conversation becomes an argument? These questions matter because someone can speak about marriage while still creating an environment that would make marriage deeply exhausting. Love should never require you to live in permanent emotional fear. A man who genuinely hopes to make you his wife will understand that your heart should not have to survive endless tests just to prove that you care about him. He will also respect that you have a life beyond him. He will not expect you to abandon your family, your responsibilities, your goals, your worship, or your personal growth simply to keep him satisfied. A healthy man does not become threatened every time you focus on something other than him. Instead, he wants to see you become stronger, wiser, and closer to Allah, because he understands that marriage should add goodness to your life rather than slowly consume your identity. He will not demand constant access to you or use guilt whenever you need space for something important. His intention is not to make your whole world revolve around him. His intention is to eventually build a world with you where both of you can grow with respect. Another powerful sign is that he does not use your love against you. If he knows you care deeply about him, he will not take advantage of that by repeatedly crossing boundaries and assuming you will forgive everything because you are afraid of losing him. He does not think, "She loves me, so she will stay no matter what I do." A sincere man thinks differently. He understands that your love is something to honor, not something to exploit. The more serious his intentions become, the more careful he should become with your trust. He knows that marriage requires emotional responsibility, and he does not want to build a future on wounds he intentionally created. When he thinks about major decisions, he also begins considering how they may affect you. If there are obstacles to marriage, he does not leave you completely in the dark while expecting you to wait endlessly. He communicates with maturity. If he needs time to become financially stable, speak with family, complete something important, or prepare himself for responsibility, he explains his situation honestly instead of feeding you vague promises. He understands that uncertainty can become painful when it continues without direction. Even when he cannot give you every answer immediately, he tries not to make your heart carry unnecessary confusion. A man with sincere intentions also cares about the kind of spiritual peace that surrounds the relationship. He does not want your attachment to him to become stronger than your attachment to Allah. He should never make you believe that losing him would mean losing your entire future. Instead, he respects the fact that both of you ultimately belong to Allah, and that no relationship is worth sacrificing your deen, dignity, or inner stability. If marriage is written, he wants it to begin in a way that brings barakah, rather than constant guilt and anxiety. This is why you should never measure love only by intensity. Someone can call you all day, become jealous over everyone, say they cannot live without you, and still be emotionally careless with your heart. Intensity is not always sincerity. Sometimes the stronger sign is much quieter: patience, consistency, kindness, emotional control, and the ability to think beyond personal desire. A man who is serious about marriage begins learning how to care for your peace even before you become his wife, because he understands that marriage will require him to do far more than simply love you when everything feels easy. So look beyond the romantic words and ask yourself what his presence consistently produces in your life. Does he bring greater clarity, respect, calmness, and trust, or does he repeatedly leave you drained, insecure, and uncertain about where you stand? No human being can give you perfect peace, because true peace comes from Allah, but the person you marry should not make emotional chaos feel normal. A man who truly wants a future with you will care about protecting the heart he hopes to share that future with. He will not only ask, "How much does she love me?" He will also ask through his actions, "Am I becoming the kind of man with whom she can build a peaceful, respectful, and Allah-conscious life?" 7. He takes real steps toward making you his wife. If a man truly wants to marry you, there comes a point when words are no longer enough. This is where everything becomes clearer, because sincere intention eventually begins moving toward action. A man can tell you for months that he loves you, that you are different from every woman he has ever met, and that he sees you in his future. But marriage is not proven by beautiful sentences. Marriage requires courage, preparation, responsibility, and real decisions. When a man genuinely sees you as the woman he wants to marry, he begins asking himself what must be done to turn that intention into reality. He stops treating marriage like a distant fantasy and starts treating it like a responsibility that needs a direction. One of the first things you may notice is that his conversations become more practical. Instead of only saying, "I want to marry you someday," he begins discussing what needs to happen before marriage can realistically take place. He may talk about family involvement, finances, work, living arrangements, expectations, responsibilities, or the timeline he is working toward. He does not need to have a perfect life before becoming serious, because very few people ever reach perfect circumstances, but he should show that he is willing to confront reality. A serious man does not constantly hide behind "I am not ready" while doing absolutely nothing to become ready. If something is preventing marriage, he begins working on that obstacle rather than using it forever as an excuse. This is why progress matters more than promises. Imagine a man tells you repeatedly that marriage is his intention, but every time you ask what the next step is, the answer remains vague. Months become years, circumstances keep changing, new excuses appear, and you are still standing in exactly the same place emotionally. At some point, you have to look beyond what he says and examine what direction his life is actually moving in. A man who truly wants to marry you understands that he cannot ask you to wait indefinitely while offering no meaningful progress. He knows your time matters, your emotions matter, and your future matters. If he asks for patience, there should be something responsible happening during that patience. He will also be willing to bring seriousness into the relationship through the right people when the time is appropriate. In Islam, marriage is not supposed to remain an endless secret relationship with no accountability. When his intention becomes genuine, he should become more comfortable with the idea of involving family, trusted elders, or people who can help move things toward a halal direction. This does not mean every situation will happen in exactly the same way, because families and circumstances differ. But secrecy should not become a permanent lifestyle. If he wants you as his wife, eventually he should want his intention to be known in a respectful way. A man who is serious is not only interested in privately telling you that you are the one, he becomes willing to stand behind those words when responsibility enters the room. Another important sign is that he begins preparing himself to carry the responsibilities of marriage. He understands that being a husband is not simply having someone who loves him, cooks for him, supports him, or gives him companionship. Marriage places responsibilities on both people. He starts thinking about whether he can provide stability, communicate maturely, control his anger, make decisions wisely, and protect the dignity of the woman he wants to marry. If there are weaknesses in his character, he should be willing to work on them. If there are financial issues, he should be trying to improve his situation rather than pretending they do not exist. If there are family problems, he should be thinking about how to handle them with wisdom. Preparation is a powerful sign because it shows that he is no longer only dreaming about having a wife. He is preparing himself to become a husband. Watch how he responds when marriage requires sacrifice. It is easy to say you want someone when nothing difficult is being asked of you. The truth of intention often becomes visible when effort is required. Perhaps he needs to have a difficult conversation with his family, change irresponsible habits, save money, become more disciplined, or make a serious decision about the direction of his life. Does he run away from every uncomfortable step? Or does he begin facing those challenges because he believes the future is worth building? Genuine intention does not mean he will solve every problem immediately, but it means he does not disappear the moment commitment becomes inconvenient. A man who wants marriage will also seek clarity about compatibility before making promises he cannot keep. He will not rush into grand statements just because emotions feel powerful. He will want to understand whether the two of you agree on important matters such as faith, family, children, responsibilities, lifestyle, boundaries, and future goals. This is not a lack of romance, it is maturity. Someone thinking seriously about marriage should want to know whether the relationship can survive beyond the excitement of the beginning. Love may bring two hearts close, but shared values and good character help a marriage remain strong when life becomes difficult. A man who considers these matters is showing that he is thinking beyond the wedding day and toward the marriage that comes after it. His actions will also become more consistent as the relationship moves closer to commitment. He will not become serious for 1 week and disappear the next. He will not speak about marriage only after an argument because he is afraid you might leave. He will not use the promise of marriage as a way to keep you emotionally attached whenever you start questioning his behavior. Real commitment does not appear only when he feels threatened. It becomes a steady pattern. His words, preparation, communication, and decisions gradually begin pointing in the same direction. You should not need to constantly remind him of what he promised or convince him that you are worth marrying. If he is truly serious, he should be carrying some of that responsibility himself. This is also where you must protect yourself from one of the most dangerous traps, falling in love with potential instead of progress. Sometimes a woman stays because she can imagine the man he might become. She sees his good side, remembers his promises, and believes that eventually everything will change. She may say, "He tells me he wants marriage, so I just need to wait." But sincerity is not measured by what someone could do one day. It is measured by what they are choosing to do now. You should not demand perfection, but you should be able to recognize movement. Is he becoming more responsible? Is he creating a realistic plan? Is he involving the right people? Is he solving problems instead of creating new ones? Is the path becoming clearer? Or are you still standing inside the same uncertainty? Do not confuse urgency with seriousness either. A man may pressure you to marry quickly without taking time to understand character, compatibility, or responsibilities. That is not automatically a sign of sincerity. Seriousness should still come with wisdom. A mature man knows that marriage is a sacred commitment, not an emotional escape. He should want to approach it thoughtfully, seek guidance, make istihara, consult trustworthy people, and consider whether the two of you can fulfill each other's rights. True intention is not reckless, it is purposeful. He wants the marriage to begin in a way that gives it the strongest possible foundation, rather than rushing toward a decision that could later create pain. Pay attention as well to whether he is willing to accept an answer he may not like. This is an important sign of character. If he truly respects you, he understands that marriage requires the agreement and willingness of both people. He does not threaten, manipulate, emotionally blackmail, or use religion to pressure you into choosing him. He can express his intentions strongly while still respecting your right to think, consult family, ask questions, and make your own decision. A man who wants to become your husband should already understand that respect cannot begin after nikah. It should be present before it. And remember, if a man is serious about marriage, his relationship with Allah should matter in the process. He should not act as though getting you is the only goal. He should care about whether the path itself is pleasing to Allah. He may seek guidance, make dua, perform istihara, correct what needs correcting, and try to move away from anything clearly inappropriate. He understands that a blessed marriage is not built only on attraction. It is built on sincerity, responsibility, good character, and seeking Allah's guidance. If he wants a future with you, he should not be comfortable destroying the spiritual foundation of that future before it even begins. The strongest sign is not that he constantly says, "I cannot live without you." The strongest sign is that he is willing to build a life in which marriage with you can actually exist. He becomes more disciplined, he communicates more clearly, he approaches obstacles, he considers your rights, he respects the process, he involves the right people, he works on himself, he seeks Allah's guidance. His feelings begin turning into responsibility. So when you are trying to understand whether he truly wants to marry you, Do not only ask, how much does he love me? Ask, what direction is his love taking? Is it moving toward clarity or deeper confusion? Toward responsibility or endless excuses? Toward halal commitment or permanent secrecy? Toward real preparation or repeated promises? Because a man who truly wants you as his wife does not expect words to carry the relationship forever. Eventually, he understands that if he wants a place in your future, he must begin building toward it. He may move carefully, he may face genuine difficulties, and the path may take patience, but you should be able to see purpose in his steps. Real intention does not remain trapped in conversation forever. And never forget this: your goal should not simply be to find a man who is desperate to marry you. Ask Allah for a man whose character is worthy of marriage, whose intentions are sincere, whose actions are responsible, and whose presence helps you protect your deen and your peace. Being chosen is not enough. Being chosen by someone who fears Allah, respects you, and understands the responsibility of marriage is what matters. Because when he truly wants to make you his wife, you will eventually see something stronger than romantic words. You will see direction, you will see preparation, you will see responsibility, and most importantly, you will see him taking real steps toward turning a promise about the future into a marriage that can actually begin. If he truly wants to marry you, you should not have to spend forever guessing what you mean to him. Real intention becomes visible through clarity, consistency, respect, responsibility, and the courage to take meaningful steps toward marriage. Do not let beautiful words make you ignore confusing actions, and do not let your desire to be chosen make you accept less than you deserve. Ask Allah for more than a man who loves you. Ask for a man who respects your deen, protects your dignity, brings peace into your life, and is serious enough to turn intention into halal commitment. And if someone is truly written for you, you will not need to destroy yourself trying to force what Allah has not opened. Protect your heart, trust Allah's timing, and remember, the right man will not only make you feel loved, he will make his intentions clear enough for you to see where that love is going.